While we wait for your order of the 85 1.2 to compare it to the 135 1.8,
Yeah,
that's what
you wish.
Yeah.
If I did that, you'd be just borrowing it all the time.
We should actually loan some
No,
lenses.
no, you don't loan, you borrow.
Loan is when you
no,
pay.
this is one of my pet hates.
Loan is when you
I
pay.
loan you something, you borrow it from me.
Oh yeah.
You do it all the time,
Yes.
remember?
Do I? Oh right, yeah, yeah. But anyway, yeah, we should borrow
Or rent.
lenses next year because yeah, you can get 400 2.8. That'd be fun.
How much is that going to cost?
No, it's only like I don't know. Z mount versus F mount
Why have we got two F mount lenses here, no Z mount?
because to prove that I still have some.
Okay, right.
Because this comes up a lot on forums and on comments on our channel because a lot of people still have them or going into the system and looking at the prices and thinking, wait a minute,
Yeah.
these are a lot cheaper now and they're getting cheaper all the time as the Z mount
And
collection
if you're
grows.
moving from a DSLR, you've got them. It's cheaper, I suppose, just buying a Z mount body and then getting some more life out of your F mount lenses.
Yeah, well, I've been on a lot of journeys with this. It would take an hour to go through all the journeys
Backwards,
I've had.
forwards,
with F mount to
sideways.
Z mount. When I first went to Z mount with my Z body,
Yeah.
it was quickly apparent which lenses were crap on it, basically. So the non-premium lenses on F mount were rubbish.
Such as?
So I got rid of it. And then I got rid of my 51.4G because that was the same. It was soft, it was slow. It's just nothing compared to the 1.8S. And I thought, well, then I got my 24 to 70 2.8. I quickly went to the Z mount as well
Yeah.
because it's just
Well, it's
native
because your old F mount was falling apart.
that too. But it was just a bit quicker, a bit more responsive. It was lighter,
Sharper,
sharper.
across the whole
Yeah,
aperture range.
yeah. The benefits of Z mount are they're generally smaller lenses.
You don't need the F to Z.
No, you don't
F
need
to
the
Z.
F to F to Z.
We're in the
Z,
UK
you're
here.
American.
Yeah, F to Z.
Yeah,
How you say
adapter.
yeah, properly.
Which is a conundrum in itself because on the lighter the body, the more problem the FTZ is for me because like with this 105, with the FTZ,
Yeah.
it's completely unbalanced.
It adds some weight and it adds length, so
It balances the ratio of weight.
Which can't be brilliant for the lens mount actually on your camera, can it?
I think it would be an extra strain on it,
Yeah.
especially my 200 to 500. It's the Z8 is better because it's more balanced, but on the Z6 and Z7s they were really uncomfortable. I found these are premium glass, so they work well. I happily use my 28 1.4 for weddings. Every event I've done,
Yeah.
amazingly fast, sharp, brilliant. The problem is it a tiny bit slower on the focusing,
Right.
even with the Z8, but it's fine for most things. But the down point the F mount lenses are, even the premium ones, there's a lot of image faults on it. So like the bokeh balls on this are massive cat's eyes, you've got ghosting, you've got flare. With the 28, the problem I have is distortion. So when things are closer to the 28,
Yeah.
it's quite heavily distorted sometimes.
Right.
So I'd love a Z mount version of the 28, and if they make it 1.2 even better, I would buy that.
So the other thing you haven't mentioned briefly as well is if you're into video work, using these, focusing, so noisy with a focus motor.
Cha-chung chung.
Yeah, very good. Excellent.
I'm used to the sound of it because of the 28.
Whereas Z mount, they're just quiet.
That'd be
focusing.
really quiet. It's like a
video.
whirling. It's like a
Yeah.
whirling noise.
So you can't, I mean, yeah, I don't think you can use autofocus on F mount, if you'd even do that with video anyway, because often you ought to probably be manually focusing. But you can
yeah.
use autofocus on the Z mount, it's impossible on these if
Yeah.
if you're actually recording the audio. These are both primes, because you are Mr. Prime, as we know.
Yes.
So that all that you said there goes for the F mount zooms, I suppose, as well. We did compare, didn't we, the 24 to 70 F mounts
back in the day.
back in the day.
It's just not as it's faster. It's better on if you're going to use a zoom. I think it's better to keep with the DSLRs because it's faster focusing. It's more native to its own body.
Yeah.
So for zooms, I would change the zooms for the Z mount definitely if you can afford it.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, the price. So all the prices of these lenses are going down all the time because the Nikon Z mount range are growing all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at I could try and summarise my journey of the 50s.
Okay.
So I got the 51.8S and I was really happy with it first. but I wanted more image separation. So I got the 51.2. We've done a video, go check it out. Very similar, but it just gave that extra light and airy look with a 1.2. It was faster, just as fast focusing as the 1.8. And then I got a bit tired of the weight of it, so I got the 58 1.4 G. Again, that was a beautiful lens, but it was just not succinct. It was slower focusing. I didn't like the extra focal length. It threw me off a bit because I'm used to 50. And so I got rid of that, and so 51.2 is a staple of everything I do now. And
Even though the other month you were half thinking about selling it.
I boxed it up, ready to sell.
Yeah, I know, it's a staple. You don't have to mess about, you do.
Yeah. So the 85s, if you're after 85 now, you can still get the 85 1.4, which is a premium glass, brand new for £1,700, which is used. I've actually seen it in relatively good condition for £500.
Wow.
And that's a 1.4. But you think, okay, I want the Native Z again. The 85 1.8S is a great lens. You have that, don't you? I've had it before.
Yep.
You can get it used for £500. It's the same price as getting an 85 1.4.
It's a nice lens.
So, and then you've got the 1.2, which is £3,000. So there's your three choices. Now, you have, I know what you're going to say about this. So which one of those three would you get?
Well, I'd go for, I mean, I did used to have an F-mount 85 1.8 as well, which was very good. When I first got my Z6, had the adapter on it and used it. It was very good. But the 85 1.8S Z-mount is really good. And, you know, we've had this discussion before.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go back towards F-mounts. Just because you see some magical little bit of softness floating around in the hemisphere somewhere attached to them.
Yeah, well, you certainly wouldn't be interested in the £3,000 1.2 version.
Certainly wouldn't be, no.
So, actually, the 1.8F is £150 you can get.
Wow. And that'd be a good lens for that money.
And it's light and super light.
Yeah.
But for me, I would actually, out of those, I would go for the 1.4F. Like I've got, but I didn't. I actually chose this. The 105 1.4, which is amazing, beautiful image rendition of this lens that can do better than the 85.
Ask you a quick question regarding that.
Maybe.
When was the last time you used it? Honestly.
Yeah. I've used it for these videos as a prop.
No. When was the last time you used it on a camera?
I haven't done many portrait sessions.
When was the last time? How long ago?
Oh, a long time. Last summer. Yeah.
How do you just say it's absolutely amazing?
It is.
It's brilliant. You don't use it.
But if I was doing portraits, in the scenario I was doing portraits, this would be the first lens I would use. So then it comes to actual image. We've talked about this quite a lot, and we've discovered this through time. The image rendition, the look of the lenses. So these premium f1.4Es, one of the latest f-mount lenses ever made for Nikon, are amazing, and the image quality I really love. I find them warmer. They're certainly softer at some points, but they have a beautiful image compression from sharpness to outer depth field. They're warmer. They have a greater look. For me, I prefer the look compared to the Z-mount, which are
sharp, clinical.
They're clinical look.
Yeah.
So they're cooler colour temperature. They have, I think, I hate saying it, but
there is a temp
sharp
slider on Lightroom, you know.
Well, that's the argument. But I hate saying it, but I think the Z-mount lenses are trying to be too sharp. So the outer...
you bring the old...
Yeah, but once you took the picture, I think the outer focus areas are over contrast and micro sharped. Sharped?
Sharped.
That's a word.
It is now.
Sharpens. So it's hard to get that clean, airy look because it's trying to be too clinical with it.
Right.
That's why I don't like the 1.8s, and I got rid of most of them apart from the 50.
Do you think any of your clients would ever notice the difference between
Probably
any of
not.
these?
No, it's for us. It's for us photographers.
That's for you.
It's for me. So yeah, that's why I've held on to these 28s, and because I used your 35 1.8S, and I really didn't like it.
But you kept it a while.
I kept it a while.
You kept using it.
Yeah, because I love primed. I wanted a wide prime. It took me ages to, and there's a video about this, why I finally found my way to a 28, which I was happy with. The focal length, the lovely 1.4 sharp. The 35 can't do that. It's too contrasty. It was slow focusing. Actually, it was really soft compared to the 28.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's your kind of your choices. I mean, there was also more scientific reasons because of the flange is bigger.
Steady.
I think it's called the flange. The opening, the mount's closer to the sensor.
Okay.
It means you can do. It means you can do.
This is the first time you've gone scientific, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
all gone.
it
It's all
goes
gone
on
downhill
and
now.
So
Russell's gone scientific.
macro photography. It means you can get closer lenses, closer
Focusing.
shooting distance, and things like that.
Yeah, okay.
Also, it helps with IBIS, but like you've said in a few videos, it's not really for you, is it? These f-mount lenses.
No, I like to use the most up-to-date technology.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there still cherish f-mount lenses.
I'm sure there are. Yeah.
Like I do.
Yeah.
I'm even tempted. The wildlife lens is coming down in price as well. So like the 500 PF is still one of the most respected wildlife
Yeah,
lenses you
it
can
is.
get. It's ultra sharp, fast, and it is really tempting to, because the image rendition is supposed to be lot better than the 180 to 600, for example. But I'm not going to get that because I want the 180 to 600 because it's the latest technology, better image
And the
stabilisation.
zoom, I
Yeah.
think, is far more flexible when you're
Yeah.
sort of doing
Yeah.
wildlife.
So you're never tempted to go back to a DSLR? And
I loved my D750.
yeah. Well, actually,
be
even
honest.
6 months ago, I was tempted to buy the D780 because I had all these f-mount lenses and I was fed up with the focusing of the Z6 and Z7
Because the D780 is supposed to be the DSLR equivalent of the
hybrid.
Z6. Wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah,
But now I've got the Z8, and with the new bodies hopefully coming out soon, it's kind of squashed all that idea. You know, the new technology is amazing. So when it comes, the Z6 III finally comes out, it'll be a no-brainer, and I'll never look back. So if you like, yeah, so there's a lot of temptation with the Z mount. Smaller, lighter, better image control, sharper, and you have to weigh it up against cost and kind of a retro image of these. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think, yeah, I'm going to go all Z? You see quite a lot of polarisation with this. People
Yeah.
say Z mount all the way. Some people say, no, I love my F mount all the way.
Yeah, some will have a mixture like you.